Alright, what up, y'all? It's Minute 4 back from what? The Raw represent everyone's you and I verse. Gonna do a video on Virgo in the first house, but that specific aspect that we're gonna speak on is Leo in the 12th house. So Leo being in the 12th house is a fixed fire, and a fixed fire is, one that has a vision and it sees it and it's gonna stay on that vision. And it's like one of the quotes I've heard, is fix your eyes upon something. You see what I'm saying? And if you fix your eyes upon, your vision, that's that Leo aspect. Saying, oh, okay, I know where I'm coming from. I think this 12th house being here is a very powerful aspect, because Leo being a fire sign in a illusion and dream house in the 12th house, it's like the end of the zodiac, but it's a fire, so it's like burning through reality, where there's no reality there anyways. It's illusion and nightmare anyways. It's just a dream. It's something that's perceived. So, if you look at this Leo being here, you have a dream, illusion, and nightmare that you can't really bring into reality, but you see it as, okay, I'm going to bring this from this dream realm, but I see it in this aspect, and I want to make it happen in this detailed reality. So that's your personality. Your personality is to bring how you see yourself and your fixed vision and your illusions, how you see yourself behind the scenes kind of thing. This kind of goes hand in hand with some other energies. Like to say, if you have, your water energies, you have all fire in your water energies. So whenever you bring an emotion to something, it also brings a very, fiery and burning through reality as well. So like it's kind of like you create a steam kind of nature. So in your dream, illusion, and nightmare, you have this fixed vision upon, okay, I know where I see myself and I see where I can go with this, and I see where my vision can take me. I have this dream about it, and you want to bring this into this detail. So I would say use that opposite house to help you out and kind of see what you should use. So if it's a fire that you're using, the opposite would be an air sign. So you have Leo in the 12th house, then you'd have Virgo rising, yeah. But you have Leo in the 12th house, then you would have Aquarius in the 6th house. So this Aquarius in the 6th house would be to say, okay, you have to communicate in a unique way and bring a fixed way of thinking into your schedule, routine, and pattern. So if you have a dream, illusion, and nightmare that you see a vision upon consistently, then boom, you want to communicate about this vision consistently and put it on a schedule, so to speak. And like I say in the comments sometimes, when y'all say like, okay, I have, a Virgo rising, but I have Virgo in the 2nd house too, like you have misplaced houses. It's not saying it's like a bad thing or anything like that. What I do these videos upon is based upon a certain alignment or planet or celestial body passing through each house and area of life. So to say, that's the reason why, if you're looking at it from, okay, I looked at the moon starting in, okay, we're just going to say, because this is the current aspect, if we look at the moon being a Scorpio and transiting through Scorpio from the 1st house, and where it's going to end up in the 12th house would be Libra, I want to show you the full transition upon how that energy is carried out. So with this, I'm going to say, okay, so you look at a certain aspect that does transition, and you can look at it in your chart. A great way to look at it is the moon. So if you look at Virgo rising, right, you would have this Scorpio new moon that occurred about 2 weeks ago, right? That would be occurring in your 3rd house, I think, because you would have Virgo rising, and then you'd have Libra 2nd house, yeah, and Scorpio 3rd house, and then it would end up in your 9th house, which is where it's currently at in Taurus. So, and the moon's about to move into Gemini real quick. It might even be cuspy a little bit right now, so it might be in the 28th, 29th, 0, 1, or 2 degree of either Taurus or Gemini. That's the cusp, so that's a whole other aspect. And shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man for bringing me into the cusp astrology. So yes, and that's what I was speaking about with the steam element, that fire and water I was talking about a little bit earlier with your with your houses that you have like I say, with Leo in the 12th house, that Leo, it's a fire sign, but the 12th house is a water house. Right? So, like I say, if you're looking at the moon, it's transitioned already, like I say, from your 3rd house it began, and now it's moved all the way to the 9th house. And if you look at it, it's going to continue to transition from that environment that you created your new emotion about, and you're going to have a knowledge and wisdom about this emotion that has carried out throughout this Scorpio season. So then the moon is going to continue to wane, and then it's going to move from, like I say, from Taurus onto the 12th house. It's going to move all the way back to the 3rd house if you want to look at that kind of cycle. So that's one way that you could look at it with your Virgo rising and watching all this collection of the 1st to 12th house videos. So yeah. So like to say, if you look at it in your Virgo nature, being your personality, you're going to see how your environment has changed emotionally and where it's shifted, and where your areas of life have taken place, to say, like, okay, you have experienced this new aspect, and it became a full accumulation in that 9th house. And now we're going to watch it wane down from the this full moon being in Taurus, and it's going to move from your 9th house to your 10th house in Gemini. Then the 11th house is going to move into, well, I don't know how, it took me a second, but Cancer, like we're saying, and it's going to move from the 12th house in Leo, and it's going to move to Virgo, and then hit your 1st house, and you're going to have a whole new way of seeing your first impression upon your environment. And it's going to move that 2nd house, and where you value that personality and how you brought that environment, aspect into it, and what you actually value about this environment, and boom, it will move into that 3rd house, and you'll see how this new environment is interacting. So that's one way to look at this, collection, and this accumulation, the waning aspect, and how it's, shifted. So just to break down fully, when you have a new moon, you have a new accumulation of things that you're going to do to say it's a new experience, and then you're going to have that full moon being the full accumulation of these new experiences. And then when it begins to wane and become a new moon, going back down and becoming, more disappearing in the sky, to say it goes down to the 3rd quarter, then the, half moon, then the 1st quarter square, and then it becomes a new moon again. So we'll have a new moon in Sagittarius at that aspect. So boom, yeah. That's one way to look at these aspects and how they play out. So much love. Peace out. I like how they do all the different little peace signs and everything like that. One of them, that could look different than this one, you see what I'm saying? But everybody do their piece different, and this is another piece, you know what I'm saying? And this is a random shout out, but I heard Lil Wayne say this, so shouts out to Lil Wayne for this. The peace signs, just the trigger and the middle finger. Like, damn, oh shit, that was hard. But yeah, peace out. Much love. Thanks for checking out the video. Oh yeah, and you can holler at me at conscious1347@gmail.com. And you can holler at me for any interpretation you want me to break down, a reading, things like that. I'll give you a little menu on what I got going on. So, peace out, y'all.